to Felcher's Madhouse.
And welcome to Punch Drunk Sports, where winners win. It's a packed house here today. Joining us from the Kill Tony podcast, Tony Hinchcliffe and Josh Martin.
Oh, hey, guys.
Wow. Bringing that energy, Josh.
Of Bag of Bets fame, Josh Martin.
Yes, a hero in the Punch Drunk world.
That was in the past.
You should have sold that thing on eBay.
Yeah.
What, your cum rag?
Yeah. I mean, there's homeless meth heads that would love that shit.
Ain't no one cloning the three of us. You ain't got to worry about that. People trying to clone us.
I'm going to be honest with you. Since I wiped my face with that, I don't break out that much.
See?
Yeah.
No,
there you go.
There you go. And, dude, after you did that, did you become a regular?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think your cum had anything to
stop
do with
it.
it.
Don't question the blessing.
That's a conspiracy theory right there.
Sam's cum has something to do with everything.
Yeah. It's really the Swiss Army knife of DNA. That's what it is.
I love it. You and Josh actually sort of look alike. Josh is like you if you got hit in the head with an aluminum bat as a kid.
I look like Fahim Anwar if I did 10 years of hard cocaine, which I did. So it worked out. I'm definitely before and what it used to be. Where are you guys going to be? Dates out of the gates.
I'm going to be at my friend Carl's house next weekend.
Oh, dude, Carl's great.
And not really.
Wow.
And that's it.
That's it?
Dates out of the gates? This is a thing? I love this.
Yeah,
I'm in Dallas, 2 shows on New Year's Eve.
Oh, where are you playing?
Hyenas.
I love, which one, Dallas or
Dallas,
this
one.
Dude, I love it, man. He gave me a sweet gig at the Plano one.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
He's the man. Randy's the man out there. It's like my
great.
3rd time doing that club this year, so it's crazy. I can't believe he keeps having me back. But
Dallas
Dallas
is a great town.
Dublin, Kill Tony. Manchester, England, Kill Tony. And London, Kill Tony. The tickets
That's awesome.
are on
So
pre-sale at
That's
10
gonna be so
a.m.
fun, dude.
tomorrow. So I'm so excited to be here to announce to my 2nd or 3rd favorite podcast in the world, Punch Drunk, that those tickets are on sale tomorrow. Plus I'm doing 6 solo dates at the London Soho Theater.
That's awesome.
Just my stand-up comedy all by myself. I guess they don't really do openers and features out there, so
Yeah.
I'm just walking out. And,
That's great.
Yeah. And a lot of other fun stuff. Philly, Kill Tony, and stand-up shows, and
Phoenix.
and Raleigh, North Carolina, Phoenix, Arizona,
What are you
Royal
doing in
Rumble
Phoenix?
weekend. We're doing a Kill Tony there this Saturday afternoon, going to the Royal Rumble on Sunday, and I'm doing some stand-up show on Friday night somewhere around the town. Like the whole
That's
weekend's
awesome.
crazy because when the Royal Rumble goes to a city, like 100,000 people
for
flock
sure.
there, and it's I feel like it's even getting
Like
bigger.
the NBA All-Star game, Brody calls it the Black Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Royal Rumble is like the white trash Super Bowl, right?
Exactly, and we are in it. This is going to be our 3rd year in a row
Oh,
going to
it's
the
in
Royal
Phoenix?
Rumble. Yeah.
Where that's like hitting white trash with gamma radiation.
It's
Yeah.
the Royal Rumble where the Diamondbacks play in a baseball stadium, Chase Field.
Oh, shit.
And it's so fun. Every year now, I use my fancy agents to get wrestling tickets. That's basically
Because
how I get.
no one else is probably.
It's so funny. No, it's true. And they have a box at the Staples Center and all this shit. Like, it's insane. Ask this kid. I mean, I've taken us to every Staples Center pro wrestling event. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. I get like, it's basically like, I look at it like a write-off with my agent. Like, it's like I give them 10% of the fucking money, but I get it almost all back in.
That's the best 10% you can spend, by the way.
I get it back in pro wrestling tickets.
And
That's great.
The 6 of us shows up, and there's just like one dude with his son.
Yeah, and then it's just this freak show with this guy who's a fucking I get
And
it.
of
Where are you
course-
gonna be, Josh?
Tomorrow I'll be playing basketball at the West Hollywood Park.
Snaps.
And Saturday I'll be jumping a fence of a middle school to play basketball Saturday.
That's great.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing Irvine January 3rd through the 5th, too. That's a hard club for me to fill. So all my Latino fans,
Yeah,
please
you should
come
just
out.
throw a bunch of Asians on there.
Yeah.
Just every single Asian you can find, throw them out there
I
because
need
that's all Orange County is.
If any Asians or Mexicans want to open up for me, just tweet that you're opening up, even though you're not.
Yeah, we're not.
Just get your friends out. Get those amigos and amigas out there.
I love Mexicans. Dude, I'm taking December off. I'm not. I just wanted to break the breathe. So I have the Comedy Chaos tonight, both sold out, and then Friday, my second special, Armageddon, drops on Vimeo. Man, go check it out. It's only $1.99 to rent, or $3 to own, and it's 40 minutes of killer. Then you can go get zero fucks. Those are boom, boom, 1-2 killer punch. Okay, and then Saturday night I got a show in Chicago. It's sold out. We're doing
Where you at?
Zany's, the 11 o'clock show. We sold it out. It's
Which one?
Chicago. The
downtown one.
yeah,
or the
the
Rosemount?
downtown. I don't know. It's the downtown one.
Right
So
on.
I'm very excited.
Downtown.
That's a
Armageddon, dude.
Yeah.
That's what you went with.
No, I get with zero fucks. It's Sam Tripoli live from the Viper Room.
If I was gonna name my special after something Armenian, I would do like I don't know, like genocide of fries or something like that, right? A silly name.
I think Armageddon is a silly name.
System of a down to fuck.
Yeah, I like that one.
System of the Down syndrome.
So yeah, man, I'm super excited. The feedback has been great and it's going well, and it's just like. It's a great, man. I mean, really, you guys sold it out. 11 o'clock is such a late fucking spot, and just because that's the shows we get. We're literally set on suicide missions, and we do really well. I mean, someday they'll give us the good spots, but until that day goes, we'll take what we get.
That's a weekend now, right?
Yeah, Saturday
Yeah,
11.
11's fine.
No, it's not.
Where?
It's not.
In that town, bars are open until 4. People don't even go out till late.
Where?
In Chicago?
That's great. Yeah, that's great. You could do
Really?
that.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Well, God bless it.
Is
then.
that on a Saturday?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, Saturdays.
I'd rather have a Saturday at 8.
Well, sure.
Look, Saturdays they hibernate in that fucking city. 11. There's no difference between 11 and 6 p.m. in Chicago in the winter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I was gonna say it's not too cold to go out.
The Saturdays that you got to worry about is when people are having picnics or going to the water
Oh
park.
yeah, you don't want to play a cold area during the summer.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming
No.
inside.
Not till it's later in the summer.
Unless you're a Wayne's brother.
Like spring and early summer, yeah, everybody is just dying to do shit outside. But later in the summer, people kind of get back to doing regular shit.
It's just like, man, you
You have 90 days where you can be outside in the air. You know what I mean?
I have the worst luck in Chicago. Anytime I'm doing Chicago in October, that means they have broken a curse and they're in the World Series. And I did it when the Blackhawks were in the Stanley Cup. I've done it when the fucking everything that's ever happened in Chicago, or really just any sporting event. I'm always in Chicago when it's happening.
They're about to get another one because the Bears are no joke.
That's the story of my life on the road.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, dude, it's the pumpkin festival.
Yep.
And it's like it's pumpkins and chicks show their tits. Everybody's there. You should have been here last week. It was fucking great. Everyone got HBO specials and their dick sucked.
Yeah, when Tony and I were in Spokane, it was like no one went to the shows on Saturday because of like a 5K on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do the big run. Any
big 5K
any
or some
local
bullshit.
event, I'm the guy that gets scheduled around. Another thing is like sometimes big comedians will cancel their weekend if they notice something's off. For example, like I got which one was it? It was like it was just some great fucking club. It was like Portland Helium. It's like one of my favorite clubs that I'd been like due for a repeat at, right? And then I get a call like the week before, and they're like, "Hey, dude, you got Portland Helium next weekend. Good deal if you want it." I'm like, I'm not working next week," and they're like, "No." I'm like, "All right, let's do it." I get to Portland. The Uber driver, when he picked me up at the airport, I'll never forget this. The Uber driver goes, "So you here for the show?" And I think he like knows me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, man, all 5 of them," right? He goes, "Oh, I thought he was only doing one show." I'm like,
no.
"Ew." He's like, Kevin Hart's doing the biggest arena in the city's history.
Oh my
here
God.
in Portland, and
there's a lot of crossover, or people like,
well, I did the math on it.
Tony or Kevin.
It was the guy that gave up the weekend before. I don't want to say his name, but it was another like top black comedian, right? But he did not want to compete with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
So it worked out for me because exactly we have no crossover. That's what, of course, Mark Grossman figured out. He's like, who can I get that's the opposite of Kevin Hart?
There was a time where I'd go on the road and just like Rogan was within 10 miles.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when I did the ATC festival this year, you know, I'm like, I'll do the show, but all my fans are fans of these guys too, and they're a little bigger than me.
Right.
So they ended up being great shows, but still, you just never know. It's such
And
a
it's
fuck.
also rough when it matches up right, and you know that these people could have seen Rogan for $10 more a mile down the street. So then you're like, wow, this audience is stupid.
Yeah.
So now you're like, wow,
Why are you here?
Right. And if they're laughing, they're just like, I don't even trust you. If you were really comedy fans, you'd be seeing Rogan.
Well, like I get always booked in like the Super Bowl. I don't want to entertain anybody who's not watching the Super Bowl.
Right.
But these are the gigs.
Yeah.
You know?
You take it.
I'm like, what are you doing here? This is the game. This is the game. You're allowed to beat your
I remember
wife.
one time it was NFC, AFC championship game. So that's Saturday, 2 games on a Saturday. And Falcons got knocked out of the playoffs the previous week. And I was just was so pissed. I'm like, I'm not going to watch these 2 games. Fuck these games. Fuck the NFL. Me and my girlfriend went to Magic Mountain during AFC, NFC championship game. I've never seen that place so dead. Like everybody that was there was either gay or like a wife and she took the kids while the husbands are watching the game or whatever.
Yeah.
We would ride rides and they would pull in and they would be like, all right, stay on the ride if you want to ride it again, because there would be no lines.
Oh my God.
So we would just ride a roller coaster like 3 times in a row. We wouldn't even take our seatbelt off.
That's the greatest thing.
It was
ever.
crazy, dude.
That's what heaven's like.
Yeah,
No
I imagine
lines.
you go somewhere like the Super Bowl. If you go to a Magic Mountain during the Super Bowl, they're like,
It's one of the days Disneyland too.
Disneyland, yeah. Well, there's people the guys that were working the rides and shit, they would look at me like, dude, you know what today is, right?
Yeah.
Why are you
What are you
here?
fucking doing here?
I went. It was like me and 5 girls went.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Then
So
you had
all-
sex with all of them too.
we're
'cause
all-
Well,
it's-
one of them was my girlfriend.
No, I think all 6 of you were just trolling for dick.
Yeah. Oh. Man.
Wow.
that is true.
Hot cock sandwiches.
But there's no dick. There was no dick there. I literally.
You said
the
they were
only
gay
guy there.
guys. That's-
Oh, that's true. Yeah. There were gay guys.
Were all 5 women that you were with divorced with kids? Were they those girls?
I like those girls. You know what I'm saying, dude? That's like a nice, nice car.
They
a
know how to-
nice used car with some miles on it, right?
They know how to keep a secret.
Yeah, and they're over it. They got that first crack right there. The armor's a little dented.
Yeah.
That's what I
I do like that. But there's nothing hotter than a sweet 10-year-old, right, guys?
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
A guy, not a girl.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Jeez Louise. You took a sip of your ginger ale.
Yeah.
after-
And I was
Had to
thinking
wet the
other day,
whistle.
if they made actors like, you know how they stopped doing cigarettes in television movies, like nobody smokes.
Mm-hmm.
What if they stopped actors from taking sips of? Everybody uses it as a crutch. All they do all day in every scene they do is fucking drink liquor.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
There's a guy named Ben Mendelsohn. You know this guy? He was in the
Rings a bell.
Netflix show about the Florida family that like inherited the.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
God damn it! How can I not remember this? It's
Uh,
a famous Netflix.
Bloodline.
Yeah, Bloodline.
He was
And-
also in Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
And in every scene in Bloodline and every movie that I've ever seen him in, Animal Kingdom, like a bunch, I don't know, I can't remember all the movies, but he's an amazing actor. But he always has a glass of like scotch and he makes it look so good in every movie. And I remember seeing him in one of the newer Star Wars, and I'm like, whoa, I love this guy. I can't believe he's one of the bad guys in this Star Wars. This is funny because it'll be definitely the first movie in which he's not drinking in. And then 3/4 of the way through the movie, he's
drinking
on
a
the
space
fucking
scotch.
Death Star or whatever it is, one of those super Imperial ships. And it's got to be the first time I've noticed in Star Wars frickin' history. At one point, he's looking out the window and he turns around and it pans long, and there it is, this MFer on the fucking Death Star or whatever. With
Even the cantina, they weren't. I think that was a juice bar.
yeah, exactly. It was
Like that was the worst part about the UFC this past weekend when Max Holloway won. He had a Monster Energy can in his hand, and he pretends to drink it. It's clearly empty. You can tell the can's empty, but he's still like pretending to drink it. I'm like, you're out of control.
That shit is just garbage.
No, I love Monster Energy drink.
The
There
blue
was-
one, low carb one, is great.
It's really great.
I hate
It's
all
like
the. I can't fuck with
gasoline,
any of those.
Drinking gasoline.
I can't even drink Red Bull.
I love Red Bull though.
That
It's
shit
the
gets
same
it.
thing though. I know it's bad for me, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That taurine, whatever that is in that, just fucks with me.
I'm a taurine comedian.
Ah, I like it. I like it.
For those of you that like energy drink jokes, come on out, London.
Oh, because they
England.
sponsored your tour.
Oh, hey.
That's why he
look
loves
at
Monster.
you. Look at you.
Love Monster Energy.
So what do you want to get into? So much great sports going on. I want to talk about the UFC and how there's something going on with them. Either I mean, this card was great, and they did 0 promotions for it. And it's almost like when you play a comedy club, and they're like, "Where is everybody?" I'm like, "You did 0 advertising. You didn't even let anybody know I was fucking here. What am I can only do so much." Right. And it's like Max Holloway is a great MMA fighter, and they did nothing on this fight. I didn't see anything running for it.
Did they do good?
I don't know what the numbers are, but I mean, like, I don't think anybody was buzzed about it.
I think it's one of those ones to where they probably knew that the biggest fight fans were gonna watch. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't have a Brock or a Connor or something like that.
Gimmicky person.
Right. This is just this was a card for real fight fans. And so I could sort of see why they wouldn't blow their load on that, especially with some monsters coming up. I mean, in
Especially
2 weeks, it's
December 29th.
yeah, in 2 weeks, it's freaking
Cyborg,
Jones.
Nunes, Jones, and
yeah.
Gustafsson.
But I think Cyborg Nunes is the real one.
Is
to
that the
watch.
same
Dude,
card?
Nunez is gonna get her ass beat.
You think so?
I think so.
Dude, I mean, like, she's going to put some stuff technically, but at the end of the day, just nobody's built like Cyborg.
Right.
She's the Wilt Chamberlain of female MMA.
At what point does she start to get old?
It's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
I think that's a real battle of mental strengths. If Cyborg gets popped once, it could ring a bell, man. She hears a ringing in her ear for the first time ever in her career. We don't know how she'll respond to that, really, right?
It's going to take a woman who's built like her to beat her. It's either going to be a Father Time or like another genetic super freak.
I think Amanda's got a shot.
I'll tell you this.
I don't think it's close. Dude.
Nunez was in the corner for that one girl this weekend at the fights. She was in her corner, and she was massive, much bigger than ever. So I guess they're like, is this a different weight? Is this?
Yeah, she's moving up to 145.
I mean,
to
she looks
145.
massive. Like
she's
she's
gonna
like
need it.
built like a totem pole. Like it's like she's like stout.
I think it kind of depends on how much weight Cyborg needs to lose. If she has to lose a lot of weight to make weight, then I think Nunes has a chance.
Well, I mean,
She
she's
always
had
struggles.
enough. She has enough time. I mean, she
but-
has enough time. There's no excuse. She's been waiting for a fight forever. And this fight, there's not a lot of fights left for her. She's that good.
But Cyborg always struggles to make weight. On every previous fight, she barely made weight. Her last fight, she was about to die, basically.
Yeah, I've
Takes a
seen
lot
that.
out of you, and it also makes it so that you have a much weaker chin. And my point is if Nunes goes into this playing it too safe, like, ooh, this is Cyborg, if she gives her too much respect, she's gonna be fucked. If she goes in there and is able to do with her what she did with Ronda and be like, this bitch just got beat, I can handle her.
Right.
Because she went in with that mentality on Ronda and smashed her. If she gave Ronda respect that fight, that would have given Ronda a chance. If she gives
Ronda
Cyborg...
had no chance because Ronda was like champion when everybody was doing Thibault.
Yeah.
You know, you were ranked top 10 because you were one of 10 women who were in female MMA. Yeah. It wasn't that. The competition is way better now. I mean, you were getting, especially these third world chicks, like these Polish chicks.
Yeah.
They got nothing.
Right.
Their best chance is become a good MMA fighter.
Yeah.
It's like that or porn. Those are their two options to get out of whatever poverty they're doing. That's why they kept Cyborg out of the UFC, because they knew she would annihilate Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And I have no problems with Ronda Rousey. You know, it's like, hey, dude, you took advantage of a situation. You're doing great is she doing great in
Do
wrestling?
you guys like her over there?
She's killing it.
Is
at
she
wrestling.
good at acting?
She's killing it.
Yeah, she's really good.
It's not really acting. I mean, look at Brock Lesnar. It's like, is he good at acting? I don't know.
Well, is she a
But when
heel
you're
or
a
is she a
monster,
good guy?
She is. She's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
It's
she's
sort
like
of,
a good guy with an edge.
yeah.
Is she the champion?
Yep.
That didn't take long.
Well, no. I mean,
They're paying her crazy amounts of money.
Good for her.
And
She's
got
got to be
that.
loving it.
She's got that Brock effect, man. She's doing a really good
She
job.
just
She's doing different moves. She's using her judo stuff we've never really seen in pro wrestling, just like frickin' tosses and crap over and over again. Like they're making her character really fun to watch.
And she's taking some big bumps. Like
Yeah.
there was a chair on what we went to
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. There was a chair around Rousey's neck, and
So do you guys-
Charlotte Flair just stomped on it.
Do you guys watch wrestling as basic theater? Like Broadway?
If you're watching it by yourself, it's almost weird. That's how I look at it. Like, I love watching it with comedians, and there's nothing funnier. Vince McMahon's such a genius that it's literally the most untalked about thing in sports history is how this guy is able to make us all laugh every week. Well, right. But I mean,
theater, right?
I guess it's somewhere. But the athletic shit that they're doing is more athletic than a lot of the stuff that you'll see sometimes. And one of the things, and I get it, being a fan of UFC and pro wrestling, a massive fan of both, is crazy. But the two elements that clash are, sometimes you don't know if you're going to get a great fight in the UFC. Whereas with WWE, you know that they're going to make it great no matter what.
But that's what UFC does is they talk shit to create a story and create buzz around a fight, which is just what WWE does. Yeah, for all their matches.
Do you like the genre now, or do you miss the era now, or do you like? I miss the old days.
Of course,
everybody had a dad bod.
Yeah.
Right, coming in hungover, and we're just great salesmen. I love that.
Well, I miss the Attitude Era back in the late '90s,
which can be said about the UFC as well.
Right.
It's like it's got big stars, but back in the day, it was more outlawish.
And the two things aren't that different. You know what I mean? Look at this Ben Askren situation, for example. You want to know what that is, bro? That's Stone Cold versus Vince. So the fight fans that are real UFC fans that are insiders are like, man, seems like Dana hates Ben Askren, right? And Ben's like, Dana hates me, won't follow me on Twitter. He throws me Robbie Lawler. He had to hire me because Joe and Brendan were talking about me, right?
Well, there's this theory that they brought him in to take out Khabib. Like, how do you beat a bad man's with another bad man?
Yeah.
That would be a great fight. They could do a catch weight.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a great fight.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Another one would be Nate Diaz Khabib. I got Nate believe it or not, I got Nate being able to win that fight. I think Khabib takes down Nate, and then what? He's in the mousetrap, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, Khabib it's possible to go. He's getting there. I mean, dude, he comes from where? Dagestan?
Yeah.
Like, they have MMA fights on the corners of the street. Like, everybody just fights there. That's all they do is literally just fight, and he's the best of that. So even as, you go, well, what was his competition when he was, he's 28-0. Like, dude, he went up against savages from day one.
Yeah.
And now he's undefeated. And like, dude, he's gone pretty far. I mean, like, to be the champ and just Conor, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Most of his wins came against guys he was bigger than at the 145 and even at the 155. He was bigger than those guys. So it's just like now he's going up against big dudes now, and he's struggling.
But with that said, Conor also had to cut that weight. That's a massive weight cut. Being bigger is a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean?
Right.
So even though he was bigger, he did cut down and was able to do crazy stuff. People get confused when I am more excited about Nate Diaz or Khabib against Conor, but it's just because they're two of the few that I think can beat Conor. You know what I mean? I think
Conor's more beatable than Khabib.
Oh, definitely.
I think there's a handful of people that could probably beat Conor regularly, and I struggle to think of somebody that can fuck with Khabib right now.
The UFC has to be very cautious how they handle Conor from here. Mm-hmm. They have shown over and over again an inability to set their stars up for success. They consistently, whatever you want to say about Bellator, they know how to throw a good tomato can. They'll throw somebody in there and they're like, there's no way this guy's winning. And the guy moves on and builds. UFC, they'll throw everybody into trouble right out the gate. Look at Brock Lesnar comes in, fights a juiced up Alistair Overeem after getting half his asshole carved out.
I like that aspect of it, though.
Dude,
I don't want tomato can
fight.
Business.
It's bad for business.
But I feel like they did that with Conor.
The fight should have been Conor versus Khabib. The fight should have been Conor versus Anthony Pettis, Tony Ferguson versus Khabib. Because if Tony Ferguson loses, it's not going to hurt the bottom line as much as Conor losing and people wondering how much he's still into this whole thing. I mean, I think Conor's a much easier fight versus Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis is a striker, hasn't been the same since they started having these really stringent drug tests, and he's way more beatable than Anthony.
But to me, like, as a fan, if they did that, everyone's just going to bitch like, oh, he should be fighting Khabib. If he's the best and Khabib's the best, That's what I'd want to see. I don't want to see a tomato
What, a
can.
2-year layoff?
Still.
The problem with having Khabib Conor already fight is that I no longer really care about Khabib Ferguson anymore.
I do. I'm excited.
Yes, I want to see it,
wanna
but I
see
think
that.
I would have enjoyed it more if I saw that before the
There's
Conor.
people think Tony
Khabib.
Ferguson has a real chance against Khabib.
I think so. I think Khabib's real problem is jiu-jitsu. I think eventually when he gets up against a true black belt jiu-jitsu guy, then where does the wrestling lead you? That's what's so fun about UFC, right? Is you find a guy with the wrestling power to bully a striker like Conor McGregor, but then what? The style, the thing that's going to beat Khabib is going to be a fucking triangle or an armbar or a choke. It's going to come from him taking a person down and then getting stuck. So I don't know if that's really Tony's main thing, right? But I think eventually Khabib's going to run into somebody.
Nate
Right
will
now, I
just
just
gets
heard
him.
Eddie Bravo go, "Hold my beer," because they do train together. And that, what is the style of fighting that Khabib does? It's not wrestling. It's
Bear fighting.
no. There's this. What? It's not judo. It's anybody? Nope. Nobody knows. Yeah, it's that style. He wore a shirt that said, "If blah 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 was easy, it'd be called jujitsu." He talks mad shit on jujitsu.
Who? Khabib.
Yeah, mad shit.
Well, I mean, that's how you end up getting fucking choked out right there.
It's gonna be interesting, dude. It's gonna be fucking interesting. Let's see if John Jones can't fuck this up and get to the fight and actually. That's a real fight, man.
Gustafson? Give me a break. This
Dude,
is-
that guy is long, dude. He's long.
Yeah.
That's the first time John Jones gets in with a guy that is as long as him.
They fought before, though, didn't they?
Yeah, and it was really close.
It was
Yeah,
close.
but that was a different Gustafson. Since then, he's taken beatings. I saw Rumble Johnson put a fist through him once in Sweden.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
You want to talk about turning out the lights. He
Oh, that's got to
fucking-
be the worst.
Anthony Johnson didn't turn out the lights. He pulled the lever from Ghostbusters where the guy's like, I'm going to release these ghosts. And the Ghostbusters like, no, don't do that. And the guy's like, I'm going to show you because he wanted to be boss. He released the goddamn ghosts.
Sambo. Sambo.
That's what I
Thank
thought it
you,
was.
dude. Thank you.
I've heard of turning out the lights, but releasing the ghosts. I saw
Yeah.
Rumble this weekend. Actually, he was trolling around the event in Toronto, like weigh-ins and stuff. Still one of the scariest human beings. You want to talk about a smart guy that got out before getting his, because he realized what he was doing to these guys, and he probably knew Nagano and some people were coming up. He'd probably done his research. He's like, I'd like to take this time to retire. It's like, goodbye, sir. Good job.
I mean, the fact that guy got down to what did he get down? 170 at one point?
It's crazy.
Frightening.
Unbelievable. Is he number one on your list of dudes you don't want to walk in banging your girl?
Yes.
Number
him,
one.
Francis Ngannou's number one. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? Just sit there and jerk off?
Oh, that-
Yeah.
You
And
walk
then
out
that
and
pu-
apologize.
No, I'm beating off. We're all gonna have a little fun.
If
here.
Nagano fucks your girl, that pussy's ruined. That pussy's
You
never
don't
getting
know,
back to
man.
normal.
You don't know, dude.
You walk in on Nagano fucking your wife. All you want to do at that point is like help lubricate the thing. Just take a bottle of lube. Make sure he doesn't rip anything,
Just want
right?
to be like a motivational speaker at that point, encourage her to go on.
I'm out, bro. I'm getting a divorce. I'm marrying no race trader.
We
You know
are.
what I'm saying?
Wow. Good lord.
Shame on you. I'm telling your father.
Man, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see, dude. And now, just One FC just signed a big deal with TNT. They're gonna start doing fights there. Something's definitely happening. You know, I really honestly believe that the UFC is working with Bellator because they have this monopoly thing going on with the U.S. government and whether they're violating labor laws. You know, causing, you know, saying these guys are independent contractors, but basically they have to file all these rules. Like, you know, they basically fucked them on sponsorship. So I thought they were like funneling these guys to the Bellator to build up Bellator. You know, I mean, look how many people leave the UFC, go right to Bellator. But now you see One FC blowing up. It might be that there's going to be a
I
couple.
don't think
of,
I've even watched a ONE FC fight.
well, they're out of Asia, but now they just signed a big deal with TNT.
Competition's good for everybody. It's the old thing. I mean, everything's booming, and this deal that UFC made with ESPN legitimizes the sport so much.
I think they're dancing with
And-
the devil.
And the more people realize that the UFC is a perfect sport, once they realize, oh, I get it. So that guy wrestles so he can take down the puncher, and oh, that guy knows jiu-jitsu so the wrestler could be in trouble. Oh,
You can't have any holes in your game anymore.
right. It's a perfect sport. So the people that love football, it's too much to pay attention to
Who's
11.
going to be calling those fights
Who's going to be calling the fights in the future?
on UFC for ESPN?
Oh, that's a great question.
That is a great question.
Because if they get some of the, listen to me, ESPN. If you get some of these ding dongs that don't know the fucking sport,
Joe
if it's
Buck?
fucking any of them,
Joe Buck.
any of them. Oh, we got a girl who was in, whatever. They're going to do it.
Oh yeah. Well, that is what ESPN does.
They wanna keep it in
ESPN
the-
ultimately hurts the sports they work with. They did with baseball. They did with the NFL. And once one of these guys smacks around one of these chicks, the ESPN is gonna go hard in the paint, or maybe gets busted for steroids. Hard in the paint. That's what ESPN does. They've done it to football with fucking domestic violence, which is obviously something important, and then head trauma.
Who beats women better, UFC fighters or NFL players?
Who makes a living striking? You gotta figure they do combos.
That's a good point.
UFC, you talking about UFC fighters beating women or NFL players beating women?
Yeah.
I mean, they're both doing God's work, if you ask me. That's just.
Christ.
You're just here to say
Why?
horrible things.
What is wrong with you?
Evil team
I
today.
think people think that
Evil
all the
team.
women deserve it.
Not all of them, but a fucking lot of them, let's be honest. I mean,
Jesus Christ, dude, I can't condone that.
Jeez.
Are you sad your girl lost?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now-
it's a tough
I thought
fight.
she
Because
looked.
I was sad.
I was
always
thinking he was
think
going
of
to show up
you.
with a black eye.
He always says you guys are the same person.
Yeah, we are.
Hey,
Every time she
I
fights, you
thought she
notice
did
Tony's
better
not
than
in
I
his
thought she
seat.
was gonna do.
Hell yeah.
She moved up a weight class. She does have to work on her jujitsu.
Let me tell you something. Shevchenko could easily be the one going up against Cyborg on the fucking.
That's what
29th.
I thought. I'm like, I would love to see her in Cyborg.
People
'cause
are-
she's
people-
a
It's
big
not gonna be
girl.
close.
You probably will.
She's a big
It's
girl.
That would not be close. Shevchenko would do more damage than anybody else ever has. Cyborg's gone up against nobody. When I say nobody, I mean nobody. She hasn't seen anything, and Holly Holm's
Dude.
sort of janky, dude. Holly Holm's either there to get fight of the night bonus or nothing at all.
Well, she was the perfect person to beat Ronda Rousey because she was just a pick and pop person, and Ronda just comes
Yeah.
at you,
Yeah.
and she hit her with the kick.
And Holly Holm Cyborg was a good fight.
But Holly
Yeah.
lands one of those kicks on Cyborg. Shit just changed. The whole dynamic changes. She lands a 1-2 and is setting up for
I
that.
just don't think that
No.
anybody has
This is what
the
everybody-
power to take out Cyborg at this moment.
It's just what everybody says until they see it. I think Nunes can fucking do it.
I
So
do
my
too.
my point is though yes, I agree with you. It was my favorite Joanna fight ever, and it's the only loss I've ever seen her take in
That you've ever taken.
And Shevchenko's a fucking monster. So the fact that Joanna coming first ever, by the way, no one even said this in the entire thing. I brought it up to Joe afterwards. He's like, yeah, that is true. I go, is Joanna the first ever female to move up a weight class? Yes. And no, it wasn't even like a acknowledged thing. And that's a fucking big deal.
Wait,
That is
that's
a
not-
big deal.
Holly Holm moved up to fight Cyborg,
Yeah, but that was a fucking...
and that's like 2 weight classes.
No, it's
No, it's
no.
not.
She went from
Holly
135 to
Holm's massive.
145.
I thought she went from. Oh yeah, never mind.
But anyway, it's still different when you're coming from the lowest weight class up. It's a different bump than a heavyweight fight, and that's
Was
a
it
money fight.
125?
Yeah,
it was
125.
125. Yeah, I was impressed with how much bigger, Joanna looked.
Yeah, and
I-
healthier. She was gaining momentum in the fourth and fifth. That fight goes another round. It's a
Well,
crazy.
it was just takedowns. She just
Yeah.
struggled on takedowns. Every
Yeah.
time she kicked, she'd catch the leg, trip her, and now she's on the
and
ground.
normally she doesn't get in that type of trouble, but Shevchenko's so powerful that when it comes to wrestling, if you're wrestling someone that just has a smaller mass than you, and you're doing the move, and you're both doing the right thing, the stronger person will win.
Yeah, of course.
So, but still, even then, she was popping back up, getting off of a bigger woman. they were talking about it this UFC about if a wrestler takes you down and doesn't really do much damage, why should the judges give you that many extra points? And I think that she utilized that. She knew what she was doing, but also it was just a great fight. It was stronger firepower with Shevchenko, with less landing, and a lot landing with Joanna with less firepower. So it was just a shootout of styles.
Yeah.
I don't know why, like, with these female fighters, if they want to move up a weight class, just get pregnant.
Boom.
You know what I mean?
Man, you solve all the problems.
Then you got 2 girls that are pregnant fighting each other. I would watch 2 pregnant UFC fighters fight.
You are just fucked.
If they're like 10 months pregnant, I'm
I know.
totally down for that.
Do you have any nice thoughts in your head today?
What happened to you?
What's bad about that?
What'd you get fucking molested at the Comedy Store last night?
What's bad
going
about
on
that?
here?
What is bad about that? You clearly just said, if I walk in and some black guy's banging my wife, I'm just going to start jerking off. That's fine. I want to see 2 pregnant chicks fight in an octagon.
Okay, you're saying those are the same things.
No, I'm saying equally outlandish. Equally outlandish.
Not even close. Not
Equally
even
outlandish.
close, dude.
Welcome to UFC Double Abortion.
Oh, see, that's great. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
But this is the big thing about female MMA is against Rousey, how weak it was. Now there's 2 new divisions within a year.
Yeah.
There's 2 new women's divisions.
They should have as many divisions as they can. The UFC needs more divisions.
Do we
Every
want
10
heavyweight
pounds.
women?
That's healthier for the fighters.
Every 10 pounds, every 5 pounds, just do it, man.
10 would be fine. That's a lot healthier for the fighters because now, just because certain people have body types where they can't.
Like Pat Barry was always heavyweight. He was never going to win. He was too short. But maybe if they had a little, like you go 205 and then go all the way up to 245 is the next limit. There's so many boom, boom, booms within there. You could have another champion. And especially seeing that it seems they can only sell a fight if there's a title fight. Why not have more titles?
Yeah. Right. I mean, look at boxing. There's fucking so many guys. Every fighter has a belt.
Yeah.
But that's
Basically.
a problem with boxing, that there's
Yeah.
so many titles that you don't care about the
The
titles
problem with boxing is there's no brand of excellence. There's no NFL, NBA, UFC.
They all
With the
are.
UFC, you're assuming these are the best of the best.
Yeah.
That's why you tune into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most exciting ones in boxing are the unification ones where, like, you have 2 of the belts, I have the other 3.
How
and
come
then you
Daniel
fight.
Cormier isn't talked about as one of the greats to do it?
Oh, I talk about it all the time. I have always said that.
I think you hear that.
It's really weird how he's the bad guy of the John Jones Cormier feud. Like, they love John Jones, no matter what John Jones does.
I think that tide has changed
There's
a
so
little
many,
bit.
There's so many. It's such a sport of front runners. It's such a fuck you. It's sport. John Jones was still doing it when the original UFC fans, that are a lot of them are just assholes, were doing it.
Just
and it's like,
bleed, bro.
sure, it doesn't matter what he does outside of the octagon. Look what he does inside the octagon. It's like, get out of here.
You sound
Get
like
out.
a New York City sports radio guy. I don't give a shit what Eli's done. He hasn't won a Super Bowl in fucking forever.
Right.
Sure.
But I'm a huge DC fan. He's the smartest fighter,
Dude.
easily.
He's lost to one guy, and it's
Yeah.
just weird how you just see it. Like Joanna, just like at that weight class, she can't beat the Thug Rose.
Yeah.
She
She's
just
beaten
can't beat her.
everybody else, including women that have beat Thug Rose.
Yeah, it's weird. That's weird.
That's what I'm saying. That's the best thing about the sport is the crazy stylistic differences.
I love it, dude.
I think eventually it'll get to a point where being undefeated, especially in MMA, isn't the fucking.
It shouldn't.
What Matt? I agree with you.
It
yeah.
shouldn't mean anything
Yeah.
because it's on
But
any day.
everybody
you can
wants
catch
that, though.
somebody. And
Everybody wants that
well, I
guy
mean, that
that's
was the whole-
unbeatable.
it
The
doesn't mean-
minute Ronda Rousey got knocked out, everyone just jumped off the boat.
I mean, Khabib's fought some savages,
You
but
know?
usually when you see somebody who's undefeated, it's usually because they haven't fought anybody. There's a couple people, I mean, really. I mean, the exception of John Jones, his only loss is really when he illegally hit Matt Hamill with a fucking down fist.
Yeah.
He's the exception. Everybody else, man, it's like if I see 0, I'm just like, who have you fought?
Do you think she ever fights in the UFC again?
Who?
Rousey.
No.
Yeah,
No.
No.
I don't either.
Never.
I think with the UFC now, it doesn't matter if you're undefeated. It's about streaks, like
Sure.
win streaks matter way more than being undefeated.
And who you beat
Because
in those
some of these
streaks.
guys lost a match early in their UFC career or
Yeah.
in their professional MMA career, and then they fucking go on a streak like crazy. Like Max Holloway's been winning everything for a good long time.
Something seems off with him, huh?
Well, he went through the health scare where people thought he was dying.
Did you see that interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's like he was like having a stroke in the middle of the interview.
And then remember, he wasn't allowed to fight for a couple of months because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's he better? Is
Dude,
he better?
training
I look
for
at you, I'm
MMA
like, you know
is
everything.
brutal.
I mean, I was backstage a lot this weekend, and it seemed like a lot of people were concerned, a lot of top
Still.
people about Max's
Before the fight.
brain. Yeah, before the fight.
Yeah, what's
and
happening?
I'll tell you this, is that everybody that was concerned was no longer concerned after the fight. Like, it's like, if that's...
That was
if
a great fight.
If
I
he's,
loved when he jumped over and started talking to Joe. That was great.
yeah, if he's at his smartest in the octagon, if that's when he's the most clear and decisive, then so be it. Good for business.
Yeah, hey man. I mean, it was a great fight. It was so funny because I went to the Wilder fight at Staples Center, and they listed them as having the exact same arm length. And when you saw them in the ring, dude, Fury had way longer arms.
He
And that's
looked
just
like he had longer arms. while
way
watching the
longer.
fight.
That's a
Same
lot
thing with this
because-
fight. You know, I mean, like they said, they had the exact same reach. And it was obvious that Holloway was way longer. And that was the big part of the fight. That was probably the biggest part of the fight, was just like picking up. Go on, sorry.
I was just saying, I was just listening to that. Deontay Wilder was on Rogan's new, listened to half of it. Seems like a cool guy. And he was like, if you rewatch it, do you see his Instagram where he put the count?
Yeah.
It's a long count, bro.
Yeah, but the count doesn't start till the ref starts the count. It's not when you hit the mat. It's when the ref starts counting, that's the 10 seconds.
It took him a long time to get the word 9 out of his mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's why I don't have a problem with the draw. Because they both could legitimately say,
I have no
won
problem with that
fight.
draw. I have no problem with that. I'd love to see that fight again.
It's the best heavyweight fight we've seen in a long fucking time.
Very,
For
very
sure.
long time. Very
For
long
a
time.
Since Linux probably?
So now, if you had a fight, if you could pick the fight, would you rather see Fury versus Joshua or Wilder versus Joshua? I'm thinking Fury. He's a better boxer.
I'd rather see that rematch first.
Yeah, the rematch is way more. And I think Joshua still has to prove himself more. I think Fury and Wilder proved themselves to be number 1 and 2. I put Joshua number 3.
I do too.
every
I
time.
I
don't
don't know
think.
about
I
that.
mean, like,
I
dude,
put Joshua number 3 over Wilder because Wilder and
if you're
Fury
a black guy
fought
in
each
Europe
other.
knocking out white guys, doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, you're just fighting white guys.
I mean, I think you guys are underrating Joshua.
I think Joshua's great.
I think Fury or Wilder can both beat Joshua.
I
But
don't know.
I
think
think
both of them
Fury
could
and
be
Wilder
Joshua.
need to go at it again, beat
Yeah.
the shit out of each other again, and then by the time that they're recovered after that, Joshua will be ready to make it competitive.
Fury's
Yeah.
the best boxer out of the 3.
Yeah.
The other 2 guys are definitely just,
All power.
all power and athleticism. They're not great technical boxers. They're not at all. They just have they're just fucking built like brick shithouses.
Joshua
man.
is a better boxer than
Yeah, Fury's definitely the worst out of all of them.
Deontay.
You know, he's just a knockout guy, and he's got that knockout power.
And what we don't talk about is this was Fury's first fight in 2 years
Oh yeah, since he lost
since he went crazy.
my body weight basically.
Yeah,
Since he stopped doing gackers of coke and banging gypsy bitches.
I don't think he was doing that. I just think he was drinking and eating and not giving a fuck.
yeah. I think just depression, eating.
I mean, he was almost like 300 pounds.
Didn't he say he was doing cocaine? I
Yeah,
thought
he
said-
totally.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably was, but
I
he
knew
was.
he was
I'm
drinking
sure
a
he
lot.
was eating crazy, disgusting food.
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
was in
I mean,
front of
cocaine
him.
doesn't just make you gain weight.
Yeah, right.
Am I right, guys?
You know, it's like everybody. I mean, I work out, but it's like everybody's like, "Gotta be in shape." It's like, dude, I'm a comic. Why do I gotta be in shape?
Wow, I love this. You're just having a little, your own little vent here.
Yeah.
huh?
Why do I gotta be in shape? I tell jokes.
God, who told you this? That you're so upset?
It's just like we're up against like vegan, fucking, everything is like so controlled now. There's no chaos.
Dude,
anymore.
that's how I feel. I'm the only fucking comedian that's not sober on the whole goddamn lineup anymore. You have Bert taking off his shirt, starting drinking as soon as he goes on stage. I'm like, this is
I
crazy.
wish I was that functional. If I could function like that, I'd be still doing it.
There's only a few people left. that actually can have a fucking few drinks and a smoke before or after a set.
Yeah.
Stand-up's like 4 of them.
Yeah.
He's keeping it real.
Dude, I saw him once in the main room, about to go on stage, do the fattest line of cocaine I've ever seen a human being do. Wow. And then walk out and do an hour of comedy.
Oh my
Who's
God.
this?
Doug Stanhope.
Oh, fuck.
I've never seen anybody do that.
Man.
I would be dead if I had that skills.
I don't think he can even perform not being drunk.
Yeah, that's a big part of a lot. I know a lot of people that like they have to have a couple beverages to go up. That is the one thing that's good about sobriety is it lets you deal with that shit very quickly.
I remember stand up doing the main room of the Comedy Store, and he just had like a cheap like a fifth big handle of fucking cheap ass vodka, like
Really?
one of those plastic handles, and just fucking drank the entire thing while doing a fucking hour on stage. Hour and a half. on
What's your
stage.
guys' take on the whole Kevin Hart thing? Is it something? Is it not something? The Oscars, like who? I mean, really? Dude.
Definitely not.
I think
something.
we're playing ourselves here. I think this is the Oscars' way of letting us know that the Oscars are coming up. And I think no better way to advertise something nowadays than to book someone that you know might have something in their past. They may have had this whole thing figured out before. They may have gone, seen some old tweets, hired. You gotta ask yourself, who has the money to hire the PR to take something like this down? Who's paying for that press?
Does anybody know the
Somebody's-
exact tweet?
Yeah, well, it was basically that his son was playing with dolls. He's like, "That's gay. Don't do that. That's gay."
And this was like fucking what?
Couple years ago.
2011, 2010.
And then they post stuff about Amy Schumer, and then they found Amy Schumer and Sarah Silverman's like just calling everybody faggots, and like nobody's complaining about that.
Right.
The good thing is that Kevin Hart didn't apologize. He's like,
did,
I'm
though.
not. But they asked him to formally apologize, and Kevin Hart's like, no, I'm not gonna apologize for something I tweeted.
I'm one
fucking
of 3
7,
people
8 years
selling
ago.
tickets right now at box office.
Is that really all it said?
Yeah,
Like the Oscars
Jesus
Oscars need
Christ.
Kevin Hart more than Kevin Hart needs the Oscars.
dude. Nobody
You know?
gives a shit about the Oscars.
No one cares.
It's trust fund kids, fucking celebrating trust fund kids. It's like, hey, this movie about a fucking guy who fights to put glory holes in his fucking gay spa. That's every fucking. It's all indie flicks now
I
that
love
nobody
that
watches.
movie.
That sounds
my
like a movie
favorite
Dude,
Tebow
hey,
would.
dude.
What's that?
That seems like a movie you would act in.
Yeah,
I
well,
auditioned for it.
for the glory hole, right?
Yeah.
It was just your asshole.
Well, they wanted. I didn't. That's where I fucked up because I didn't know they wanted just my mouth. So I just kind of stretched open my asshole and plugged it up against his hole,
Wow.
and
Teebs-
got a call back.
Teebs in the new movie Glory Hole 9 Yards.
Yeah. Glory, hallelujah.
Glory hole 9 inches.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's stupid. I just saw a thing that was like, oh, he made these anti-gay tweets a long time ago. I'm like, whatever.
I love that
But
we're
then
going
it's
back years. Like, who are you?
somebody's. Anytime anybody gets anything, it's the Twitter troll police. They're just got to be like, all right, get the kids out. Let's get everybody get your laptop. Let's read everything he's ever written in the last fucking 10 years, and let's sift through it and find a way to ruin it.
But like, there's people in news that will just take a screenshot of any tweet they think might eventually be something, and
Dude.
and they're just cataloging.
You know what's
all
hilarious?
this shit against people.
You know who they're trying to get? No joke. Eddie Murphy. They want to get Eddie Murphy to do it. Has anybody seen Delirious?
Oh, yeah.
He says faggot like 9
Right.
times.
Right.
It says he refuses to kiss people because now you got to go home with that faggot AIDS on your lips.
Yep.
He says faggot in his goddamn special.
I watched it like
That-
a
and
year
it-
ago,
so
and
did
it's
I.
like fucking.
It's
I
unbelievably not as
forgot
funny.
that
as
he
it-
said it that
Dude.
many times. Like, holy shit! I say it twice. I
So
feel
that's
great
your
now.
replacement Oscars?
Yeah.
That's the one you're thinking
They're
about?
just
Eddie
tone
Murphy?
deaf, dude. The whole thing is stupid. You're already winning in life. You don't need another award. Kiss my dick.
Eddie Murphy wouldn't do it.
Who would you get at this point? Tenacious D?
What?
You know who we should get? Let's get one of these Twitter trolls up there that's so perfect. Why don't you go do that fucking shit?
I hope they get Hannah Gatsby and it just bombs.
That'd be great.
I would love to watch it. I would just watch for. It's
I
like
say Max Holloway.
Snuff fucking
Let's
porn.
get his cuckoo
No,
ass
I
up
got
there.
it. Can I put it out?
Yeah.
Falling asleep.
Dwight Howard. Perfect. Perfect.
No, you know who-
Loves the gays. Wants to be a comedian.
You know who they got to get? The classic answer. A black, half retarded, with no legs, in a wheelchair, cross-dressing tranny. Midget.
Is Boone
We're talking
available?
about Precious.
Well, no, Boone says faggot too much.
They'll end up getting Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, and they will stock that writer's room with straight white males in their 30s to 40s, and they will do the jokes right down the barrel. Easy breezy. Negative Trump reference here. Negative Trump reference there.
3 hours of Trump jokes.
Not only did they hire one woman to do this tonight, they hired two, and the women will go, woo!
Oh, so dumb.
And everybody gets an award, and that's the show. Welcome to the Oscars.
It's the worst. Nobody knows the movies. Oscar voters even admit they don't watch the movies.
But really imagine Hannah Gadsby doing it first. Just like, I would like to say to all of you that this is the year where we change things. I put wigs on all the Oscars to make them women.
So funny she hates men, yet she so desperately wants to look like one.
Yeah, I thought she was James Corden for a second.
She literally looked like me in my special.
Armageddon available now.
Yeah.
And this is the weird thing. I was just talking about this past weekend. This is the first year that I don't know no one's talking about any of the movies that
it's because we
Oscars.
fucked ourselves with this whole sequel bullshit. Every time you go see a goddamn sequel, you're supporting. There's another movie that's not in that theater from a creative standpoint. There's no evolution. We're not evolving anymore.
It's the Suits, dude. They don't want to do anything original. It's either like status quo or weird shit on Adult Swim. Like there's no like in
there's
between.
no one taking chances on anything.
Yeah,
and say,
they're just like
hey,
they're bringing back every show that fucking where people were tired with.
We need to take a stand.
Like I was talking, someone I know met Mr. T this past weekend. I was talking to him, and apparently the guy. It's like, hey, I have this thought for blah, 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 blah. Like, just gave 4 things. This is what I wanted. And the guy created the entire show on just 4 thoughts. Who? What include? The creator of the A-Team.
Oh.
Created the entire show like, I want military guys in a van. It was like small things like that. And
Was he
they
still
took a
rocking
fucking
the
chance.
mohawk?
No, he was buying soul food for a mission.
I was wondering if he still keeps that mohawk at age 60.
Of course he does.
60 or something.
Dude, Chuck Liddell's going to have a mohawk till he's like shitting his pants, which will be 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, which is this morning. I would think that like at some point in time, like you would want to have like privacy. You would just grow it out.
How's that privacy?
Because you're not as recognizable.
What are we? Fucking Superman? He's got glasses on. We don't know it's fucking like it's Chuck Liddell with a wig. We know what the fuck's going. I mean, like
even Mr. T had a wig, he would still have all the
you're
gold
like-
chains on.
Yeah.
and you're like,
You're
oh,
just
that's
Mr.
definitely
T.
Mr. T.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
with an
It's like-
afro,
Right.
trying to look like Cleveland. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
What was Mr. T's catchphrase again?
I pitted for
I
you.
pity the fool.
Yeah.
Apparently, he said it like
Hey,
4
mama!
different times in conversation.
He's getting old now. Now he says, I shitty the pool.
Oh yeah, I shitted the pool.
Shitty the pool.
Yeah,
jokes.
it's just there's just such fucking Hollywood. It's the best time. There's more opportunity, and it's just as unoriginal as possible.
There's more opportunities if you fit what the company wants.
I want to say one thing. I'm super excited for Ted Alexandro because the guy got voted top 10 comedy specials on Vulture, which, you know, Vulture's, but that's still cool, man. I'm super happy for that guy. ATC did his special here. The guy's been grinding forever, and it's good to see a guy who's put in time get a little recognition, and I'm happy for him. You know, literally the whole rest of the list was lesbians. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's what every comedy festival is. Pretty much,
It's amazing. The most angry people on the planet are the funniest ones.
The new fun thing to look at is these lists, and anytime you see a straight, what appears to be a white male, look and find the thing that allows them to be on the list, whether they're gay, whether it used to be a woman, whether it is
Jewish,
you know, either deep
Jewish,
South, super Jewish. It's got to be extreme version of something.
Yes.
So that's something fun to look out for.
Yeah, it's
and
100%.
also,
nobody's like eating pussy. Guys eat.
Yeah.
There's no dude just eating pussy.
But you know who
licking it.
is? You know who is eating pussy? All the writers for all those people on that list that you saw.
Well, that's the great thing about these female comics. They're like, oh, finally female comics are gay. It's like they all hire male writers.
Yep, all of them. Every single performance you've ever seen, every award show, every 1 hour special, every single thing. Here's the clip that'll ruin my career. Every single thing you've ever seen a woman do.
Yeah.
Written by white dudes.
Yep.
Hello! Including all your SNL stars, including all your movie roles, including everything. And their specials.
Tina Fey.
100%. That's the head writer. What do you mean? She has a whole writer's room. That's a writer's room. Not only did she have the SNL writer's room, then she had the entire 30 Rock writer's room. When you're making a show and you see someone that when you see the star of a show doing anything else, whether it's a corporate event, whether it's a this or that, they have full access to a team of at least 12 writers at minimum that work for them no matter what else they want to do. Hey guys, can we take an hour and run jokes? I have this thing on Friday night. It's I have to make fun of the military in San Diego, so let's make fun of the city. Let's make a few jokes about that, whatever it is. And then the room busts out for an hour times 12 writers. You end up going through a file for 2 hours, getting to pick your favorites, and the whole job's done because of 1 hour of a real writer's room.
Yeah.
So, and we're talking about, not only is she the star of a show, and I'm glad that we're using her as an example because she's an EP and a head writer and a this and a that. You know what I mean? So that's a perfect example of someone. Same thing with Schumer Show. Has an entire writer's room. Everything has a writer's room filled with, whatever. And then they have to make those a little bit diverse too. That's something fun that nobody talks about too, which is what is the contribution of a lot of these other people in a writer's room?
Well, they get.
I'll tell you.
Well, people don't know that they get less money on these diversity contracts. They get paid less for like 2 or 3 years. They got to take less money just to get in, and I think it's why you want everybody to have a chance to get in, and then the best get it. And whether that's an Asian lesbian, then let her in. But this diversity thing is basically saying white guys are too good at this. We got to fucking cut them out so these other guys can get a chance.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, if you have, like, the Sam Tripoli show.
Good luck on that.
Yeah. Like, you have the Sam Tripoli show. You're going to bring in writers that know your voice.
Yeah.
Who can write jokes in your voice, who you think are extremely funny, and they can write the jokes in your voice. And for you, I feel like it would mostly be dudes.
Yeah.
I don't think there would be any women.
No, I mean, there's some chicks I think are who Bonnie McFarlane, I think, is an assassin.
Yeah.
She writes all of her own shit.
But it needs to be
Christina Pajinski, assassin.
Yeah. It just needs to be people that you can write in the voice of the star of the show. It doesn't matter what the race is or color or fucking
That's what
sex.
Seinfeld said, and people flipped out.
Yep.
I don't care what your race. Are you funny or not? Oh!
Yep. It's true.
And, dude, they get all these shots, and most of them don't go anywhere. I mean, Amy Schumer she's a trust fund kid who's, like, related to the most powerful politician in New York. Of course she's going to fucking hit.
And the funny thing now is, with all that help, with all this stuff, and at the finish line, what does it end up being? A 1 hour Netflix special. And the catch is, here's where things sort of suck, the truth be told, is that once you're at that final point, in the editing bay, even if it wasn't funny, they can turn up those laughs, and you'll notice that repeating sound of, it almost sounds too spread out, perfect of a laugh, but you never hear that really in a comedy club or a theater. It's always sort of like, it's different. Each laugh sounds different. But now you can just get away with murder because in the editing bay, they'll just jack up your laughs to way overboard to where there's laughs on setups because the guy in the editing bay doesn't necessarily always know how stand-up comedy works either.
Oh, that's what killed Comedy Central.
Yeah.
They were just...
Hey, I'm telling you right now, watch out because it's happening on another platform big time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I didn't even try to shop my special. I just said, fucking put it out, and I'm just going to make as much money back as I can and then just put it on YouTube.
Yep.
It's either Netflix or YouTube. That's it. I mean, after that...
Yep.
And for you, if it gives you a couple more weekends of road work, then it's fucking worth it,
For sure, dude. For sure. I just refuse to. I like to find out what they don't want me to talk about, and I just write hours on that. I'm going hard. Fuck you. It's just like, I don't know. These kids, they hate mean comedy. They're also the ones who want gun control, yet they play fucking World of Warcraft the whole fucking time.
Sam Tripoli, you can't say you going hard into commenting, then you shit on everything Thibault has said today.
Whoa, good job. I'm sorry, Jason.
Good job.
You were great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your lawyer fucking won the case.
You know
You're
Ari's
fucking free.
You know how Ari's special is called Jew? You should do one that's called Fuck Jews and just do a whole hour of anti-Jewish
I love
stuff.
making fun of Jews on stage in this town because everybody gets quiet. And it's just like ridiculous. You should be able to make fun of everybody.
It's weird. They get quiet.
Exactly. That's what it used to be.
Yes.
But it was white people doing it. White males doing it. So you're like, oh, you're making fun of it. Everything used to be funny. Everything used to be funny.
It's trust fund kids whose parents were rich, made money off of fucking evil shit, telling us to be nice. It's fuck them. Fuck them.
I mean, I don't even think it's that big of a thing. I think it's
It
just
is.
people that want attention.
And that's true too. People want to make money in oppression now.
People want to be the one that got...
And outrage.
Whoever is the one that got Kevin Hart, whoever found that thing and then blasted that, these people want to go viral. They want that's their way of being famous, is by being a
They all
fucking
want
internet
a head on a
rat.
stick, huh?
They just want to be internet rats.
I mean, let's get on into Ohio State. They kind of went through that, right? Where that whole thing with the coach.
Yeah, it was a disgusting extension of this Me Too movement, where should the head coach be fired for sort of hearing something one time through his wife?
How much of that is why you think he quit?
A lot.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my God, a
Me too.
lot. It's ridiculous.
I'm
what
sure
they
all
put
that made his headaches happen even more often than
I mean,
normal.
a winning program, a great fucking recruiting class, high-ranked fucking team, and he's not an old guy.
being made out to look like a devil, and it all goes back to Joe Paterno, who was the real fuck up, making it so that this could even be a storyline type of thing. Is like he ignored these kids getting abused. Yeah, he did, and that is bad. But don't start these new... It's the new thing. It used to be American Idol, America's Got Talent, The Voice. It's let's find a star and make a star, watch a star get made. Now it's the opposite. Let's watch somebody great at their job get fucked up. And they
Can't be human anymore. They're
Right.
making everybody into liars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like fucking chicks
And those
who
rants-
keep fucking idiots.
Those rants that
Because they get lied to.
that Paul Feinbaum would go off on at ESPN. This is the end of Urban Meyer. It's going to be a matter of weeks, and we don't even know the whole story yet. You think Urban's not watching that? You think his wife's not watching that? These rants that get all the hits because everybody wants to click on. This is going to be Urban's last stand. The university's got to do something. It's not AM radio. ESPN's letting these buffoons go
And they're
rampant.
total hypocrites.
Right.
They can't celebrate Kobe
Yeah.
and Peyton Manning enough.
Right.
Both have been accused of awful fucking shit. Kobe basically came out and said he did it.
Yeah.
And then they can't stop bringing him on, getting their thoughts on this, and at the same time acting like Greg Hardy trying to find a work. Listen, if you fuck up, man. But you deserve a second chance.
Yeah, like Randy Gregory fucked up a million times, and now he's finally somewhat clean and
Yeah.
fucking doing great for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
right
give
now.
them, people deserve second chances. If they fuck that up, like Louis C.K., like the guy deserves a second chance. And if he fucks it up, you're gone.
Yeah, give Louis a whack at it.
Yeah,
I mean, John Jones had 5 chances.
yeah. I mean,
You know?
that's just how it is. I mean, like MMA is a certain skill, and he's the best at it. The problem is that everybody thinks they're funny, and anybody can be a comic. So they just try to replace us with people. It's like it's what the funny bones do. They don't want to pay anybody to play their clubs because they think
I mean,
you'll
I
just
would
go
put-
see
I'll-
it. Then
I'll-
they paper the room now. The whole room is
Yep.
papered.
Yep.
Nobody buys tickets to their thing because they've diminished their product so badly.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
It's a shitty business.
You know, it's
model.
funny with Kobe. Where did I see this? Might have been just some interview about him or an article I read about him. But you know, after all of that rape thing happened, you know that's when he got the nickname Black Mamba. And you know who gave him that nickname? Himself. So
I thought it was the girl he raped.
you just got accused of rape, and then to fucking hype yourself up, your nickname is a giant black snake.
That makes me hate him even more.
Oh, absolutely, it does.
But you two are biased.
You
You
can't
both hate
give
the
your
Lakers.
You can't give. I like the Lakers now more than I did.
Lakers are looking good right now.
They're
Yeah,
okay.
no,
they're
yeah.
fun to watch.
I
Yeah.
love it. You guys
I don't
are
like the
surprised.
Lakers. I don't like the Lakers.
No.
But I could watch him now more than I could watch him when Kobe was
Magic
there.
Johnson and Shaq are two of my favorite players of all time.
Shaq's
just
definitely
hated
one of
him.
my favorite
Do you
players.
prefer Shaq as a Laker or Shaq as a Magic?
I mean, Shaq as a Laker was dominant, but
Magic Shaq was pretty
Magic
fun.
Magic
Shaq
Shaq was great with
better
Penny
than
Hardaway.
LeBron
was
James
fucking amazing
ever.
to watch.
When he was just ripping rims off of fucking
Oh, I
backboards.
fucking
dude, we've
love
never
that.
seen a 7-foot guy move like that.
I saw a GIF the other day somebody posted of it was like that time Shaq dunked on an entire NBA team, and I forgot all about it, but there's all 5 guys in the lane, stopping, all jumping and reaching at once, and this motherfucker just
Dude, he was
pretending
crazy
like no one else
dominant
was
at
seen-
LSU.
If he had
Yeah.
discipline, he would have just destroyed the NBA. He would be the greatest player of all time.
I used to work at a McDonald's, and Shaq would go through our drive-through at the McDonald's I work at because he had family like nearby, and he would just order like 4 fucking Big Macs.
I'd love to hear you two going back and forth over the voice boxes.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that again?
Look in the McDonald's. Can I take you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. He's the only one to ever tip me in the drive-through.
He's a nice
Wow.
guy. I mean,
He,
dude,
he would
good
tip
about
me. He's
that.
like, "Here's the extra $20. I know you're working hard. You don't get anything."
He's probably one of the best businessmen outside of Michael Jordan
You can keep the change.
in the NBA. Like him, LeBron.
Barkley too. It's now later. Barkley's a good. But I remember seeing Shaq when I was 10 years old, and I was like super tiny, and I saw him in the New Orleans airport, and fucking dude was fucking massive.
Dude.
And I'm like,
I've seen him
holy
before.
shit! I didn't
7'2".
realize he was that big in person. I'm like, holy fuck! Like I remember seeing Kevin Nash, the pro wrestler, and he's like 6'11", I think,
Yeah.
350 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And Shaq's bigger than that.
Yeah, Shaq's even bigger than that.
Shaq's so good at business that sometimes commercials of him will go back to back, like Gold Bond and
That guy will sell anything.
right, general.
That general insurance,
Yeah.
like that's such a rinky-dink thing. Like, how much money could they have given Shaq?
Oh, a lot of money.
I heard a thing about those 3 of them that are on the.
TNT?
Yeah, Did you hear about how much money they make?
No.
Brendan was telling me about this. So who all is it? It's Shaq
Shaq, Kenny Thompson? No.
and Barkley,
Barkley.
Kenny Smith,
Kenny Smith.
Yep.
Kenny Smith. Barkley. And Ernie Johnson.
and Ernie Johnson. None of them make more than $12,000 per episode.
Really?
Is
Yep,
that good or bad?
Well, that's.
I don't know.
I
which
mean,
is weird.
It's not much, but they have so many episodes
that's the
that
thing.
they make their money on the
How often
amount.
did they tape it?
Like one of them makes like 4, one of them makes 8, one of them makes 10, one of them makes 12.
Shaq probably makes the most.
I think
Shaq and
so.
Barkley probably are the higher.
I think it's Shaq then Barkley. Yeah.
Yes, no doubt about it.
But, dude, look at what that's afforded them.
Oh, I know.
It makes
I
TNT basketball one to watch.
I don't even know if
You
that's good or bad, really, relatively. It's just when you see a show like that, you really have no idea. If I asked you to guess, what would you have guessed
How much they making?
per episode?
Like 20.
Fuck, that's a great
I
question.
know, it's weird, right?
When you do it all the time.
I think about this a lot with Joe Rogan.
What do they
it
do,
Makes
20?
me wonder how much UFC's paying him, and he, only does the ones that he wants to do now, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to go to Brazil or whatever.
Good- yeah,
he
he's
doesn't
so
even.
no-
I don't even think he's doing. I don't even think he goes.
That's
to
the
all
smartest
New York
businessman in
ones.
comedy.
Yeah.
It's between him, I think, and Tom Segura.
Yeah.
Tom Segura is a fucking brilliant businessman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Joe paved the way for Tom. Even
The tree of Rogan.
Yeah. I mean, that's
The tree of Rogan.
He's the host of Fear Factor,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
man.
come on, bend at the knee.
I mean, dude, the guy's batting average has to be, what, 900, 950?
It's insane. But I'm wondering how much UFC pays him, right? Isn't that a great question? Like,
I thought I had heard that one time.
How much longer do you think he has on that?
I think they've asked. They probably. I know he was talking about leaving 5 years ago.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's always kind of hinted at that. And I wonder how much this ESPN thing is going to send him which way.
If I was him, I wouldn't
The
want. to do these
ESPN thing
no-
doesn't affect him at all because
Because
he
he does the
only does the
pay-per-views.
pay-per-view, so it
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
affect.
well, my guess would be if ESPN doesn't change much of the format and lets their people stay at the UFC and they let them keep that family feel and they let UFC really produce it instead of ESPNing it up, it's
Right.
definitely going to help keep them there.
That's what I think.
Because everything has an effect, and you want to keep that family tight. Even when WME came in, like they did a pretty decent job at keeping the core.
Except for
people.
Goldberg.
Well, I think
that
that was
was
all
weird.
to show that Bellator's. I really do think that, man. They decide who can we lose that won't really damage the brand. And every fighter they lose is like number 4, 5. So it's big enough to be like, whoa, they got blah, blah, blah. They got Ryan Bader. You're like, holy shit.
Right.
But it's not enough to hurt the product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that, too, is like them, don't say cleaning out the division, but them willing to be like, hey, we're not going to re-sign Bader.
Welcome to the podcast, Joey Diaz. How are you?
Hey.
Joey. Let me see, huh? I'm on podcast.
What's happening, brother? I'm sorry. I'm cutting into the podcast. I get called back, but I can say hello to your fucking family over there.
I love you, dude. We're doing Punch Drunk. I'll call you after. I'll follow up with you. And what?
Comes from the bottom.
Is Ari calling in direct from Israel?
No.
Nah.
No, he hasn't. We don't know where the Jew is right now. He's wandering.
He's in Israel, just smoking reefer with fucking sandals on.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck about nothing.
Throwing rocks at Palestinians.
He's looking for Nazi chicks.
Yeah,
They
dude.
come on their titties out of respect. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Have you seen Israeli twerking videos? They're top shelf.
And that's it. I was just checking in what you're saying.
All right, dude. I love you to death. I want to call you. I want to talk to you about something. I'll call you after. Bye, bud.
Wow. Great
Guest
Joey
spot.
Diaz.
The great
Joey
Joey
Diaz.
Diaz. You just never know who will call in and be pissed I put him on speakerphone.
The heavyweight champion of
The
comedy.
champion, dude. The hardest guy to follow at the Comedy Store.
I enjoy following him. a
Oh,
lot
dude. I
because
mean, when he hits, though, you got about 5 minutes being Charlie Brown's mom.
You have to.
Wah, 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 wah. And they're like, oh, my God, you see that?
It's a fun wave to follow. I kind of like it because I remember following him in the main room a couple times during Red Band's show, and it was like, it's not easy, but it's fun.
Is
He's
there
got a
anybody-
lot of energy, so if you can, if you go off of it and slow it down and make the audience listen, you can do good. What's harder, in my opinion, to follow is someone with that just matches that cadence and silliness, like a Theo Von, when he just stays in the pocket and he's just saying funny shit every 4 to 5 seconds, funny words,
Yeah, man.
funny retrospect, like it just,
Have you met Theo Von's #1 impersonator?
Hey, man, appreciate that.
Oh wow, hi Theo.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay right with Christ, man. Got all these hillbillies trying to get in my, getting in on my snacks. I think Holtzman's a tough one too because
Holtzman
they don't even know what just happened. You almost have to start over from scratch following Holtzman.
You have to reset the room after
Yeah.
Holtzman and it's not an easy reset at all.
Oh, if he kills, you're fucked. If he bombs, you're
Yeah,
fucked.
that's what
Yeah.
I mean. There's no real wiggle room in there because you're going to be so different from Holtzman. Everybody is. If he kills, it's such a weird
And
reset.
that mustache just fucking completes it.
And his belt all the way up to his fucking.
He's so good.
What I love about Diaz is just if you follow Diaz and you can go dirty early into your set.
Oh, yeah.
Following Diaz, it's easy to start with dirty stuff or some very fucked up weird shit.
Yeah.
That's why I fucking love Diaz because then I'm like I don't have to pander with some boring stuff to ease into the.
Dude, I had to follow him at a Joe Rogan show, doing 10 minutes of the best ass-eating
Yeah.
material I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Which I always said, it's like following Joey Diaz at a Joe Rogan show is like middling for Van Halen. The opening act is David Lee Roth, right? I mean, he's just fucking murdering. I'm like, what am I going to talk about?
Right.
You know, him and Lisa Lampanelli for me are the two people I've had just memorable bombs in the 19 years I've been at the Comedy Store. Like they left marks with me.
Yeah.
But most people, like, there's some people I follow, I'm like, wow, they went a lot easier than I thought it was going to do, and they're fucking destroyed. Like, Chris D'Elia, for some reason, I do well after. I don't know why. You know? And he's a master at what he does. I love what he does. You can't, not everybody can be Doug Stamp. You don't want all Doug Stamp. You want a fucking spectrum, right?
Yeah, of course.
I love what Chris D'Elia does.
He's a
good,
monster.
He's a
gotten
monster,
so good
dude.
at his style. It's
He's
incredible.
a monster,
Yeah.
dude. He's a good dude, man.
Yep. That's a guy that really won me over, man. In the beginning, you know,
Me too.
it's tough for me to be immediately amazed by a person that I know like has family in the business and came from money and this and that. So
He's
it
also
takes, like, a couple-
always nice.
Dude, the guy's
He's
always
never
nice.
not nice.
Always nice.
He's the kind of classic example of somebody, if he was an asshole, he would be so hated by everybody because he's had everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But he's so fucking nice, and he's super funny.
Yeah, I mean, he's been kind to everybody. Brian Callen is like the Bruce Springsteen of stand-up comedy.
He's so funny to
Have
me,
you ever
dude.
watched him? Their mannerisms are the exact same.
They they went on stage a couple times together, and it was just Dalia making fun of Brian Callen.
Yeah, they
And
practically
his
fuck.
mannerisms.
They're a fun group to those two, man. Those guys are both funny.
They're hilarious.
How many girls do you think they DP'd together? Before
Hundreds.
Director of
Callen was
photography?
mad. Yeah.
Oh my
Hundreds.
God.
I'll camera that. I'll fucking cameraman that.
The fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say right there. Damn it, I can't remember. Callen put up this video of a fucking like FaceTime fucking message or something that fucking Dalia sent, and he's just got his shirt off and he keeps walking back and forth, and every now and then he'll give like a move like he's gonna fight him, and Callen's doing a play-by-play of it, and he's like, "What is he doing here? See, same move right there. He's doing the same fucking uppercut. What is it?" And then he just holds up this little dog. Just holds it, never says anything. And then the video ends, he goes, "What is he going to do with that dog? Throw it at my throat?" It's so stupid, dude. They're fun, man. Those guys are fun.
The Tree of Rogan is very powerful. There will be a fucking book, a movie about it.
Yeah, it's pretty
It
amazing.
is.
And you even got to factor, I mean, I know he's got the biggest podcast that there is, but between the end of October and last week, he had both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder on his fucking podcast to talk about the fight before and then
Dude,
the
he
fight
gets
after.
everybody.
I know, it's amazing.
He gets everybody. He's gonna have fun. You know, hey, dude. With great power comes great responsibility, man. And like, I know I would flamethrow that whole thing.
What do you mean?
I would it would get that big. I'd say something crazy, and the whole thing would crash.
He's pretty good about just not giving a fuck. He'll just do whatever and say whatever.
Yeah, people don't
Like that, you know, on Mustang, and I'm like, "Are you worried about it?" He's like, "I don't care. I'm not worried about nothing."
That was, I mean, amazing.
That's scary. That could have been scary in some way.
I would be.
It would
hiding.
be scary if it was on TV. If
Well,
it was like
if
a
it was
regular
on
TV
TV,
show,
it would-
then it would be.
Yeah, but how can you take that away from? It's his fucking podcast that he puts out on his own.
Dude,
you
a
can't
guest
take
came on
anything
your
away
show,
from
and the
him.
government is investigating them. That's scary shit.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Okay.
The last thing you want Joe doing is having that thing on TV in any way,
I
on
mean, that's
any network
never.
or anything, right? Well, the whole thing is that it's cool. It's cool because you find it. It's cool why this is cool. It's cool why Kill Tony's
Yep.
cool. And I think a lot of people, and by a lot I mean even us sometimes, forget how cool it is that it's not overproduced and that it's not spoon feeding them. This goes for everything.
And it's just
man.
raw. That's why, like,
Yep.
I'm a big fan of, like, Legion of Skanks, because it's very raw fucking comedy.
Those guys are very funny.
that
on
you,
the pod.
they're funny guys, but it's just very raw. And I think Rogan as well. It's a lot of raw conversation that's not pre-planned.
That's Danish and
It's
O'Neill's
almost
pods like that, too.
barebacking,
Yeah,
right? Am I right, guys?
There's no real setup. Just fucking, we just go with it.
And
have a
you know, you
conversation.
don't have that when you do this. You don't have that like overlord of somebody being like, "Hey, the advertisers don't want you to do
Oh,
this or that or
dude.
this." And even
Get
with
rid of the suits.
it's happened to us.
gotta go.
We're like, we've done weird reads, or we were just being funny. We're being ourselves, and we know what our audience likes. And when advertisers like, "Hey, we don't," then cool, kick rocks. Then don't work with us.
It works because there's no format at all. It's the opposite of like Pardon the Interruption, where you know everything that's coming up next.
Yeah.
The part of that type of unproduced podcast feel is, wow, Elon Musk is on. We don't know what they're going to talk about. Maybe they will
Right.
talk about spaceships. Maybe they'll smoke pot. Maybe they'll talk about, it'll just be about their kids for some reason.
Dude, for sure, man.
You know, the fact that we don't know what's coming up and we don't know what's going to happen. The minute, they add a segment to that show where it's like, all right, it's time for Joe Rogan's top 10 of the week, that's when it'll start to be like, what?
Yeah, overproduced.
Right.
It gets you drawn in without a single word being said.
Yeah.
Like nothing said. You like, this is the guest. That's all you know, and you want to watch because you don't know what the fuck.
I want to do the first podcast where nobody talks.
Hey.
See how that goes.
It might be your most successful
Yeah.
podcast.
I feel like a lot of people want you to do that.
Everybody on the show right now. I bet. You know, if you want to make a bet, go to BetDSI. BetDSI for all your betting needs. They are our longest running sponsors, and they've been kind enough to stick with us. It's very cool. You go to BetDSI, use the promo code PUNCH25. They'll get you $25 betting cash. And whatever you deposit up to $500, they will match.
That's amazing.
That is amazing, and it's a wonderful time to be gambling, dude. There's more.
Yep.
There's more information on gambling. Like gambling is full on taking over sports talk radio, sports television.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can make money.
Yeah.
Gabe Killian is killing it.
Yeah, he knows his MMA.
He does know.
But
his
here's the thing: he posts.
only when he wins.
Right.
You know what I mean? You never see him like. I'd like to see him do that. Like, hey, I lost $3,000 on this fight.
What would that
or
sound
whatever.
like if he did?
I'm basically even right now.
He's always, every gambler.
Basically
Every
even.
gambler. I hear you up or down.
You know, I won like 3, then I lost like 28, and then another 1,500, and then
You're just saying numbers, dude.
All right.
20, pretty much 27.55.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what
like
that means?
Basically even.
Yeah,
I see my dad do that with blackjack. Lose like 10 hands in a row.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, how you doing? Oh, even. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you're taking a beat.
No gambler's ever even.
Right.
You're either down or up.
You're almost always down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you say you're even, you're down.
Yeah.
I did pretty good on my picks this week. Of course, I went with Joanna, and
Why would you bet against yourself?
right, exactly. I always bet it for my people, but other than that, there was another shocker in there, the one that surprised me.
I almost had hit a parlay on DSI, and I had
Yeah.
a good one too. But the fucking Miami game fucked me.
Oh, dude, that was so much fun to watch.
Oh, I
And
loved
by the
watching
way,
it.
Can we talk about how the Raiders can't even lose right?
Oh, yeah, can't lose right.
I mean, dude,
No
why
business
are you
winning that
winning
game.
games?
No business winning that game.
It's the dumbest fucking thing I've
And-
ever seen.
But the bigger thing is that maybe Carr and Gruden might be getting on the same page.
I don't know.
Maybe?
Gruden has gone Game of Thrones on the fucking Raiders. Carr's got to be like, hey, man,
Now your GM's
where'd
fired.
everybody go?
Yeah, they fired the GM.
Dude, is he the only one ever to be fired after a win?
Oh, I don't know. It's a
Gruden?
good question.
No.
The GM
Oh,
for the
yeah.
Raiders.
Yeah, they fired him after a win.
Wow.
Vikings fired their offensive coordinator last night.
Yeah, this
Or
morning.
today,
yeah,
yeah.
this morning. My Saints are number 1, like where we belong.
Thanks to the Bears.
world-
It's going to be interesting to
Oh.
see what happens.
Have you
man.
guys already talked about how smashing this college football playoff's going to be? What a sad joke it is.
I think the college playoffs need to go to six.
I'd
At
say
least
8.
6, but 8 would be better because they're getting the same people.
Yeah, you can't do
and
6
people are
because
gonna
then
get
someone's going to have a
bored.
bye.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
okay to have the bye for the top.
No,
teams.
but fuck that,
But
man.
with college athletes, they play so many games. You don't want to add that
I'm
extra
so
game.
over
Yeah, I'm okay with 8.
Alabama.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then you could see UCF and have UCF lose, and so they can stop talking shit.
I think I'm rooting for Notre Dame.
I'm going for Oklahoma.
Oh my God. Oh, you poor guys.
What?
I mean,
Oklahoma.
I'm sorry.
All 60-14 in football, that'd be murdering.
It's
people.
March Madness, but football.
I'm sorry,
I
but
would love
take Alabama and Clemson with the point. I mean, just take them all the way. They are going to.
Alabama's going to win by 90.
Yeah, they're going to destroy Notre Dame and Oklahoma. It's not worth watching at all. And they ruined the Rose Bowl by leaving Ohio State out too, because now Ohio State's going to what? Oh, what a great story for Urban Meyer to go away on top.
Where's he
Urban,
going?
He's retiring.
He's not.
They ruined his brain.
Where's the last?
They broke that man.
But he's coaching their bowl game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is bowl? What bowl is he going?
Washington. It's
It's
going to
Oh,
be
it's in the Rose Bowl.
It's at the Rose Bowl.
55-7. 55-7. Maybe 55-3.
Yeah,
What
for
a
sure.
joke. They ruin everything.
They're in the Rose Bowl, though? That's what they're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not the real Rose Bowl. With these playoffs, it's a joke. We beat number 4 Michigan. We slaughtered them 64-30
I was
something.
so
And-
sad about that. I mean, I like Ohio State, but man, I just want to see Michigan get one, dude.
No. 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 And it's not going to happen next
Unbelievable.
year either. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be the first person on this show to tell you, wait until you guys meet a man named Ryan Day. Boy, are you going to love him.
Who's Ryan Day?
He's the interim. He's the coach that of Ohio State once.
New.
He's been the offensive
Oh,
coordinator.
you're gonna fucking love what's about to happen at Ohio State.
You make me hate Ohio.
Oh,
He says it every time he's on this show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Last time he said we're gonna love what happens this year. His fucking coach's fucking children or whatever the fuck just happened. Oh, you have no idea.
well, look what we did again. And I feel bad for you Michigan fans that are excited
I
that
feel
Urban's
bad.
leaving because this guy coming up, Ryan Day, is more evil than even I can comprehend, my friends. This
By the
guy
way-
hates everything and hates everyone and is out to prove a fucking point. And that's a guy, I'm talking about a guy that might be the answer to Nick Saban and might be the answer to Dabo Sweeney. Because once these kids see what this guy's all about, it's nasty. A lot like what Stoops and Lincoln Riley just did at Oklahoma, but this kid's disgusting. He's a nasty dude with bad intentions.
Does Urban Meyer ever coach again? Does he go to the NFL, which he denies
No, I think
wholeheartedly that he doesn't want the Browns job?
I think he'll take a 1-year deal. I think in not this upcoming year. I think he'll take a year off. He'll do the desk again, and then I think he'll take a
What,
nasty.
for ESPN that just destroyed him?
Yeah, I think he will, and I think he'll take a nasty 1 or 2 year deal with some crazy school. Might even be USC. Might be like a freak competitor that's been like out for a little while.
That's an interesting
A
theory.
different conference.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
for
an
sure, a
interesting
different
theory.
conference.
Could you ever see him going back to the SEC? Close like Tennessee.
No, he can make the Pac-10 decently, help it get a little bit stronger again, and God knows they need it. USC should throw their entire checkbook at him. I don't know what they would
That's
possibly
interesting.
wait
I
for.
could see that.
And it's Southern California. The kids are growing
It's LA,
up,
yeah,
right?
you're fine.
So I mean, why not?
He
Get
takes
out of
that
there.
Browns job. He doesn't even have to sell his house.
Being in Ohio is toxic, though, and for what just happened to him, I'm sure he's looking to get out. If he's going to get out, he doesn't want to be reminded of Ohio sports. What happened to him this year was one of the saddest things in
Now LeBron's
anything.
gone. They're the biggest brand in Ohio.
What? The Buckeyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? I mean, it's just is what it is. I mean,
And if he stays in Ohio, he goes to a market to buy food, and there's someone who's an Ohio State fan trying to talk to him
people don't
all
really-
the fucking time.
People don't
Yeah.
realize how big Ohio State really is in Ohio. I think
needs
they
to grow his
see the
mohawk
Ohio
out.
State bars in different cities, and you see the people. Man, I know so many people from Ohio. But in Ohio, look, there's a bunch of major cities. First of all, we decide who's president every year. We basically sort of set the trends in everything. And the point is with all the major cities, in the biggest city doesn't have an NFL team. It
And
has
you ladies
Ohio
have
State.
fat asses.
We have 2 NFL teams: the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns. And Columbus doesn't have a football team. Why? When they're twice as big as Cleveland and Cincinnati, it's because we don't want them. We don't even want the Bengals and the Browns. It's been the Buckeyes forever. There's no doubt that and every Browns and Bengals fan is a Buckeye fan, and it's bigger than even that. So
Ohio just doesn't even want Cincinnati, the
He would-
entire city.
have you been to Cincinnati?
No.
rough.
I heard it's very country.
we call it Cincinnati.
I
We
call
don't
it
even claim it.
I call it country ghetto. That's where I'm like upstate New York is country fucking ghetto. Like hood fucking rednecks.
Cincinnati is one of the worst cities on the planet, and upstate New
I went
York.
to a Chipotle there. I felt like I was in The Wire. It was I'm like, dude, everybody's getting shanked in here.
Wow.
Well, wait.
Speaking of long streaks, the Chipotle in Cincinnati will leave one in your underwear.
Hey.
I just realized with sponsorship for like these bowl games, the Fiesta Bowl's no longer sponsored by tortillas or whatever the chips.
Tortillas,
Yeah, whatever.
Tostitos.
Tostitos. It's the
The
PlayStation.
tortillas fiesta.
Is the
Welcome to the
PlayStation
French Fry Bowl.
PlayStation Fiesta Bowl does not fit at all.
PlayStation is what it is
Yeah,
now.
it's PlayStation Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, dude, they're just awful.
Oh, it's
And when
the
the
worst.
stands are empty, I'm like, why is this on national television when the people there don't even want to watch it?
Yeah. Welcome to the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, live from Value City Arena with the one and only Mountain Dew dash cam.
Dude, Gareth Reynolds has the best bit where like they're just gonna start working advertisements into play-by-plays.
Oh yeah.
You know, for sure, dude.
Well, they have
Easily.
the Dr. Pepper pylon pylon cam.
Yeah.
You know what I hate on Monday Night Football is this Booger McFarland chair thing that he's on
Yeah.
that just rolls. Why do we care what he thinks?
Because his name's Booger.
Why does he get the
We
fucking
like
thing?
black people.
I don't understand it.
I don't know how he got the job. Who picked Booger?
Who picked Booger?
Come on. Nobody knows. What? Booger jokes? Nobody knows. Hello? You got to dig deep to pick Booger.
It makes no sense to me.
Who do you guys think? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We haven't talked much NFL at all, and this is what I thought. Who is your team you think is the unstoppable team this year? Do you think there is an unstoppable team?
I just love hearing
You guys are going to be tough.
Unstoppable?
You guys are going to be tough to play in New Orleans.
Come on. It's the LA Rams. This is an
No,
easy
dude,
question.
it's not the LA Rams.
I think
I think Goff showed that he's a young quarterback.
I think the Bears
Trubisky did the exact same thing.
I think the Bears just cracked the safe on the Rams of giving you a blueprint of how to beat them.
But
you
the Saint-
blitzed the fuck out of
But
Goff.
the Saints stopped Gurley. Gurley had, 56 yards rushing against the Saints? That's nothing for Gurley.
Can we talk about how, like, basically the Raiders basically made 3 teams playoff teams? I
Yep.
mean,
Well,
Janikowski's
the funny thing is,
kicking
like,
like a motherfucker.
the Cowboys trade, they traded Cooper to the Cowboys, thinking full on they're a 2-4 team right now that look like shit. That's going to be a very high draft pick. And now they're about to win the division. This kid's got 700 yards in like
And the same
4
thing,
games.
and same thing with the Bears pick for Khalil Mack. It's just going to be a late fucking pick. They're going to have like 4 of the last fucking 7 picks.
Yeah, they traded him
the first
to
round.
the Bears because they thought the Niners wanted him, and they're like, nah, the Niners are going to be good. We're not going to trade him to the Niners. We'll trade him to the Bears because the Bears are going to suck. Bears are winning their division, and the
But
Niners
just
would have
had
the
a
first.
major injury, though.
They'd have the
That's why.
first pick overall.
They lost Garoppolo, which ruined the Niners.
The Raiders
George
could have had the
Kittle.
first and second pick.
Can you
back to
imagine
back? Can you imagine having 1 and 2?
Yeah.
So great.
You could do the Scott.
I want Bosa so badly, and they just keep fucking this up.
He's going to go high.
He's going what?
Yeah, he's going all the way. He's a fucking purebred Buckeye.
Now, do you think losing him hurt your guys' season?
Yeah, what are we
course.
talking about? He's a goddamn NFL lineman.
He would have definitely tackled the quarterback for Purdue.
Oh, stop it. Don't say that word.
That's the one that fucked you, huh?
What's the only fucking thing that fucked us was
Yeah.
one bad Saturday.
I
man.
was in Toledo, Ohio, and there's a lot of Michigan fans in Toledo because it's close to.
Yeah.
And fucking everyone was watching the game, and everyone was so happy
Oh, I
at a
bet.
bar at the Common Club I was at.
That's amazing.
Because they all fucking hate Ohio State, even though they're in Ohio. They're just
Right.
Michigan's not that
I was
far
in
away.
Connecticut doing a casino gig that I really didn't want to do, that I like agreed to
Yeah.
a year before. Like it was booked like way out, and it was
Right.
just this dreadful gig that I really didn't want to do. I kept flying to the East Coast during this time a couple months ago. Every weekend I was just going Connecticut, Boston, New York, Toronto. I was just over it. And for that to happen there, I mean, it was just devastating. It was one of those ones where literally I kept, instead of recording my set on my phone, you know, and you have like the big timer and
Yeah.
everything, and I'm doing an hour too, right? So instead of having my recorder on, I just kept the stream going, and I would glance over at it at times and literally just go, fuck, during the middle of my set. They didn't even know what I was talking about.
They just thought you had Tourette's?
Right. No, literally, truly. That's how it went until the very end. Until the end, and I, basically told them the truth. I go, this entire time I've been watching one of my favorite sports teams get shockingly beat.
Yes, multitasking.
They loved it. They loved it too because
I'm everything.
they thought I was pure evil at that point. Connecticut, worst comedy fans in the world, if you're wondering.
Really?
Just go to Connecticut. Yeah.
What's a Tony Hinchcliffe fan? What does he look like?
Smart, hardworking, good
Sex
looking.
offender.
I have the smartest comedy fans because
How did you not know this was going to be his answer?
because I have a show.
Most of them are royalty.
Because I have a show.
I think
about-
Sam Tripoli definitely knew
Sultans.
this.
A lot of sultans.
I have a show about comedy where
Saltines?
comedians talk to comedians about comedy. So I have the biggest comedy fans that go see everybody and support live shows a lot, and that live their dreams and love winning and being a winner and rooting for the winning side. And my people are the best.
My comedy fans just look like Jayson Thibault.
Yeah. And those are my comedy fans. So you're fucked. You're super fucked, kid. Nanny, what's up with you? How was your? Where were you, Boston?
Nanny, come on, man. We had a streak going where she wasn't going to talk the whole
I
show.
had a really bad migraine, and all I needed to do was take this off. I really thought I was going to die, and I
Wow.
was trying to.
That's what happened to
not
Urban Meyer
leave.
too. He realized
What
all
do
he
you
had to do is
think
take off his
they're
headset.
Putting in my headphones. Is it you guys trying to kill me?
Yeah.
Maybe.
We're like,
Because
fuck, how
it's
can we kill
seriously
her?
like fine now. But
Yeah.
the whole show, I was like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
I was gonna leave, but I didn't want to be a baby.
Yeah, I love
Sounds
it.
like Armageddon.
Hello. Hello.
Such an asshole.
Armageddon sounds like what you get after you eat too much Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Nope, does
Guys,
not.
Sunday I'll be in the belly room at 10
Do you
o'clock.
want to wear these,
We-
Josh?
No,
Let's
I'm
see how it
good.
goes.
Sam, when you start crying, do you call it Emogeddon?
Emogeddon. I only cry when I jerk off.
I only cry when you jerk
I
off.
was just going to say the same thing. I was literally just going to say that.
Great
That's funny.
minds.
I fucking love it.
funny.
What else do we want to talk about?
Did you see how the refs completely fucked that game last night?
What game?
The Monday night game, the Seattle versus Minnesota.
Refs are bad
The
this year.
refs are very bad this year.
It's 6-0. About 8 minutes left. Minnesota's kicking a field goal to cut it to a 3-point game.
Yeah.
And a linebacker for Seattle jumps over the line, blocks the kick. But you're not allowed to launch. I can't jump off of your back.
Right.
Or anything like that. He so clearly uses both of his hands to push off of two guys and get over the line.
Yeah.
No call. Block the kick. Then they get the ball right there, go down and score a touchdown. Game's pretty much over. They got a meaningless defensive touchdown at the end of the game, but that was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the refs suck.
That was my problem with the Saints Cowboys game is the helmet he had on Kamara.
That was on.
And that fucked us. That
You know,
no
he-
call.
no call at all. Then he
no
gets
call.
fined.
He gets fined like
$40,000
yeah,
or
like
something.
20. I think it was
23.
like, yeah, 23.
Yeah, it was 23.
22,000.
I think that is so fucked up that you cannot penalize a player for something,
And
but
then
then fine him for it later. That's ref's fault.
You ever been with a buddy and you're banging the same chick and your dick's accidentally touch? I call that helmet-to-helmet infraction.
Do ya?
I do it. Well, I do that all the time with
It's
my
had to happen
buddies.
enough that you decide to name it.
Whoa, whoopsie daisy. Oh, it happened again.
I do that all the time with my buddies, but without girls.
Yeah.
Oh, helmet-to-helmet.
Helmet to
Throw a
helmet.
little flag out of my G-string that I always wear.
You do wear. I thought you just went jockstrap like a champion.
I wear a G-string and I just pull my dick and balls to the side and let it out like a tranny.
I like that.
I like that. We got balls on one side, dick on the
Oh,
other.
that's
Always,
great.
always.
Like doing a fucking split. That's
Yeah.
fucking nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
We call
Nice.
that the old bag of bones.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, man. Fucking hot gay sex. Am I right, guys?
There's nothing better.
It's a butt fucking good time.
It's a butt fucking good
There
time.
you go. We got a slogan for it. Gay sex. It's a butt fucking good
It's a
time.
butt fucking good time.
But fuck yourself a smile today.
Well, yeah.
Who loves gay sex? If you go to gaysex.com right now and enter the homo code,
Use the homo code. Butt sex.
Pun drunk 20.
Yeah. Punch drunk 69.
That's rude, dude.
Pun drunk
Fucking
66.
brunch drunk.
Has anybody heard Jason Galern's new podcast?
No, I love
It's
him.
so fucking funny. It's called Promo Code, and each one's about 6 minutes, and all he
Only
does
6
is talk about whatever
love
fake
that.
advertising. Dude, today we're talking about, what was it called? Shazam's Euros. Not Euros, what was it? Calzones. Shazam's Calzones. That's our sponsor today. Shazam. Dude, you fucking think this guy was locked in a basement making fucking calzones. It's all he talks about. It's so funny, dude.
He's wonderful, dude. I love that
His
guy.
new one is called Medium Speed Internet. I'm excited to hear what that one is about.
Yeah, dude. He's great.
Yeah, check out Jason Glenn's podcast called
His
Promo
new
Code.
album's great too. I love watching him perform.
Oh, he's one of my absolute favorites. He's, especially all of us have known each other forever. We all have seen each other's act backwards and forwards and all. He's one of the ones that, like, you can still watch it and laugh at the jokes that you know are coming.
For sure, dude.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's fun to watch people watch him for the first time.
Who have you watched that you thought was dog shit at first, and now it's like, holy fuck, he's gotten really good?
That's a really big deal. There's certain comedians that are like that,
Of course,
It's
yeah.
like the summer growers and summer showers.
Bobby Lee, remember Bobby Lee? He was not that good of a comic when he was first around. And he's wonderful.
I think we're talking about two different things. There's some people that have gotten better,
Yes.
right? And then there's some people whose styles the first time you see them, you're like, what is this guy's problem?
Yeah, why is
and
he
then,
here right now?
And then you realize that they're actually like that. Like Brody's a big one. You show somebody Brody for the first time, your friend that you took in there, like, hey, you got to see this guy, afterwards will literally be like, what the fuck was that? But once they see Brody a second time, it's their favorite comedian.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
Holtzman's
oh,
like it,
I
too.
thought, yeah, that's
Holtzman's
another
like
one.
that,
Exactly.
too. Holtzman's
Where
Don
it's-
Barris. I
Yep.
mean, Ding Dong Show
Yep.
is so like that.
Yep. The first time you see them, you think they're having a meltdown, like a breakdown. They're like, oh.
The first time I saw the Ding Dong Show, I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Oh, dude, I didn't either.
No, I was just like, I
Watching
don't
Don
get
on
this at all.
stage, the first time, it's like, why is this guy going up?
Yeah.
And then I would talk shit, and then I saw him, and I got it, and for a year I had to apologize to him because he's a wonderful dude. He's
Hilarious.
like a diabolical genius. Like the way he plays these guys,
Yeah.
and you could sit there and be like, oh, he's picking on. These people know what's going on, and they're enjoying it. And then he just finds these psycho hot chicks that just run around with him.
I saw when I first saw him, like, I don't think I get this. I mean, I don't know why everybody. So
Now you're
it
in the
was
band.
smarter than me. It was smart. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's
my
just so
window
good.
of comedy was so just like punchline,
Well,
set
that's
up,
really
punchline.
the thing to keep an eye out for in the comedy world is like, if somebody's in the game successfully and you don't quite get it, but it's not hacky,
Yeah.
then there's probably something more to it.
Yeah. That's exactly what that
sure.
was when I first
For
saw it.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, he's so fucking funny. And what's his Mary Jane?
Yeah.
She's wonderful.
One of the nicest people ever. And she gets it too.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's not sometimes. It's always better to be smarter than everything that they've already seen before, if that makes sense.
Well, I just think there's so many comics now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so hard.
That's why I've gone heel, bro. I went bad guy. I committed to it. I come out bragging from the get now. I give them my perspective. I put either you're with me or you're against me. If you're against me, I'm about to win you over. And if you're with me, let's fucking party. But I don't even hold back anymore. I basically have committed more towards, in the past year or two, the character that Teeb does of me than even how I was before.
I think
Like,
that's a weird way he's saying thank you for his career, dude.
yeah. Thanks, Teeb.
Yeah,
I've
look at
taken.
that.
I've been able to actually make money off of one of your
Oh, that's what
ideas.
people think I am. I'll do that.
That makes one of us. Tony's making money off my impression of Tony.
Exactly.
Well, I've always told Tony he needs to be Lex Luthor and not
Yeah.
fucking Joker.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the Joker coming.
Yeah.
So Lex Luthor does more damage.
Yep.
But he also gets to live in a penthouse, bang fucking top shelf,
Yeah.
ass, and fucking have a great career.
Yeah.
The fucking Joker is in the fucking gutter.
Yeah.
You know? Be
Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah. I
You know-
never really understood that, and I've always asked you, like, well, what do you mean? But I still don't get it. One day it's gonna click. I'm gonna be like,
What I'm saying is that you can be evil. You just can't let them know you're being it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you're blunt force obvious with it, everybody sees it coming. Like,
Right.
it's just the way it is. Is anybody going to want to help or anybody, and stuff like that down the road? I think now that, you've gotten so much success, you've calmed down.
yeah,
You're still the dude, but now you're calmed down. You're not, you're more like, you're more of a thinking evil than the fucking, I'm going to say mean shit to everybody. That
Right.
was, it was before.
Right.
That's the Joker.
and now my new misdirect is that it's a little. There's times where it's more wholesome, and
we gotta wrap it up?
oh.
No, finish this up.
I come out and
Oh, shit.
basically play evil so that this way when I do talk about something a little more wholesome, maybe about my wife or something like that, like it's like, whoa, look at that. We've seen his evil side, so this is funny because this is his
Yeah.
normal side. So it's like I flipped it a little
It's been
bit.
fun to watch, dude. I'm really happy for you, man. You fucking focus.
Yeah,
and get
guys.
things
Everybody
done.
go to your European Kill Tony.
Yeah, well, check out Kill Tony, killtony.tv, deathsquad.tv.
It's going to be fun to see how European does because their style's so different. Some say it's like what we were doing in the 80s, and they're
Yeah.
trying to catch up.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Nanny, man, you really went off today. You went
really
crazy. I almost ran you
thought
over.
I was having an aneurysm.
Had,
You would
headaches.
almost ran me over on purpose.
Yes. So
He scared me real
I'll
bad.
see you
before
guys
the
tonight,
show.
Josh.
We did forget to plug one thing. I just realized. This upcoming Sunday at the Comedy Store, 3 p.m. Our pro wrestling podcast that we do. We're doing a live commentary, watching Table Ladder Chairs, and doing live commentary.
Check it
over
out,
the
man.
phone.
If you've ever enjoyed pro wrestling before in your life, you should come to the Comedy Store this Sunday.
Where?
Even
The
if you-
downstairs or in the main
in
room?
the belly room. We watch the pay-per-views on a projector, and we mute the sound, and we do the commentary.
Yeah,
over
so
the
it ends
whole
up
thing.
being mostly just roasting some weird shit.
It ends up
because
being
it-
us all cracking each other
Oh,
up for
dude.
3 hours.
So even when it's
Oh,
even when
hold
it's
on.
bad, it's fucking great for us.
So you-
pro
the-
wrestler, former champion David
We
Arquette
only
is going to
need
be
10 more
joining us
minutes,
there.
Aaron.
All right, Aaron, I'm almost done. Hold on. Real quick, the Punch Drunk is having another UFC event at the end of the year at the Sycamore Tavern for John Jones' fight. Punch Drunk's John Jones fight. Come, we watch the fights, and then we have stand up after. So come to it. It's the 29th. I'll have those tickets up now.
Is it okay if I come to that? I want to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah,
to
it's
that.
super
you're-
fun.
yeah, if you're here,
yeah,
dude,
come be
do
a
it.
part of it.
Yeah, I'll be in town.
Okay,
All right.
come be
I'll
a
be
part of
there
it.
too.
We'll love to have you. All right, both of you
Josh,
guys.
you're not welcome. Everybody else,
still
come.
going there.
You guys
Suck it.
best. Take care. Wow, that show went fast.